That isn't a mix-up. The reality is
She wasn't speaker.
Nikki Haley is relying on Democrats, just like Nancy Pelosi, to try to have a desperate showing in New Hampshire.
Wait, but he was talking about January 6th.
President Trump has not lost a step. He is a stronger candidate, stronger than he is today, than he was in 2016 and he was in 2020. Compare that to Joe Biden's weakness.
I can't tell you how disappointing I feel every time I see her talk.
She's a clown.
Republican
is defying the U.S. Supreme Court, and I wonder if you have any concern that this opens the door for, let's say, Democratic governors to defy U.S. Supreme Court decisions with which they disagree, let's say on gun rights, because they think it's in the interest of public safety, even if the Supreme Court says what they want to do is unconstitutional.
Well, we all agree that the Constitution is the supreme law of the land. And if the Supreme Court gets something wrong, for example, if they tried to ban and say that we didn't have a Second Amendment right to bear arms, I think the Constitution supersedes somebody in Washington, D.C. telling us, and so I think Governor Abbott did a really good job of laying out and declared an invasion based on Article 1 of the Constitution. The states have a right to defend themselves. The states created the federal government. The federal government did not create the states.
Grown man who gets paid millions of dollars every year to throw a ball around while promoting poison death shots and child slave labor through various brand deals and endorsements. So sad. Imagine being so brainwashed by sports you actually show up to your team stadium to shovel snow for free so you can watch a bunch of grown men who are overpaid tackle each other. Seriously though, trudging through 3 feet of snow amid a massive blizzard just to watch a game? Yeah, sorry, you couldn't pay me to do that. Just imagine for a moment if people were as dedicated to Jesus as they are professional sports. I think the country might look pretty different if that were the case. But sadly, as we know, it's not. And perhaps that's why we're witnessing the crumbling and degradation of our once great nation. Instead, all we seem to care about are the celebrities and athletes propped up by the Hollywood elites and this ongoing theater, this fake, carefully crafted show that the masses have been hypnotized by and can't seem to turn off.
That the next time KJP or the president takes any kind of questions of any kind on the economy, that Washington Post article is going to be right there, front and center. We've got the best recovery. And that's a pretty good political slogan in an election year. Lauren,
well, they're spinning it forward, saying a lot of the investments and the money that was spent, there was a lag effect, like for infrastructure. Now you're starting to see the benefits.
That's what they're saying.
So hang on with us, because now you're going to start to see all that big spending is paying off and your life is going to get a lot better.
Watch
That's
out.
the pitch.
We're very critical of Bidenomics, but with a headline like that, they're going to run with it.
How are they going to...
Comments, he clearly wants to campaign on this issue. Have you spoken to him about the Senate proposal, and are you simply trying to kill this to help him out in the campaign?
No, Manu, that's absurd. We have a responsibility here to do our duty. Our duty is to do right by the American people, to protect the people. The first and most important job of the federal government is to protect its citizens. We're not doing that under President Biden. We have only a tiny, as you know, razor thin, actually a 1-vote majority right now in the House. Our majority is small. We only have it in one chamber, but we're trying to use every ounce of leverage that we have to make sure that this issue is addressed. I have talked to former President Trump about this issue at length, and he understands that. He understands that we have a responsibility to do here. The president, of course, President Trump, wants to secure the country. President Trump is the one that talked about border security before anyone else did. He ran on, as you remember, building the wall. Why? Because he saw...
Hunter also in 2018, apparently texts revealed a deep distrust of Sherwin and his involvement in family affairs, and apparently owed Sherwin money. And Hunter, told his assistant that Sherwin whined that he owed him 30% of his income for 10 years. Then by 2019, the relationship deteriorated further. Did you get any information out of him regarding this?
No, all of the people that we brought in for depositions, they have a hard time remembering the bad things. But
let's talk about Border Patrol apprehensions between ports of entry at the southwest border of terrorists.
And I have to say, it is pretty rich hearing the gentleman from Georgia express her concern about terrorism when she literally was selling defund the FBI T-shirts and hats on her website for $30 a piece. $30 for the shirts and another $30 for the hats. You don't get both for just the $30. The leading law enforcement agency tasked with combating terrorism in this country and keeping people safe, and she wants to defund it. So I am not going to take any lectures from her on securing this homeland from terror. And with that, I yield back.
Oh, sorry.